Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So 2024 has a huge possibility to be a big year for Social Security, and we already have one lawmaker calling on people to vote on his bill that would increase benefits for some Social Security beneficiaries by up to $500 per month, so we'll be covering that. Plus, we have Tucker Carlson confirming that yes, he is indeed in Russia, and yes, he's going to be interviewing Vladimir Putin, and the mainstream media is already freaking out about it. But before we go ahead and dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive up to $9,000 in free stocks or $9,000 in free cash, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Webull. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then deposit at least 1 penny. At that point, Webull will be sending you at least 3 free stocks worth, once again, all the way up to $9,000. And if you do not want to invest at this point in time and you'd rather just have the cash, all you have to do is once you receive those stocks is just sell them for what they're worth and then transfer the cash value right back to your bank account. Okay, so diving right into our lead story of today's video, and that is, of course, Social Security. And we have one lawmaker in John Larson who has a bill right now that would do a lot for Social Security, and he's saying that we need to have an up or down vote in the House right now to decide whether or not his bill would end up passing. And if it does pass, it would increase benefits by up to $500 for some people. We'll be covering what's in the bill, but first off, we're going to leave it to Larson and what he has to say. Watch.
There are also more than 28 million Americans who the only benefit that they have in retirement will be Social Security. It is an outrage that this body in the House and in the Senate have not taken up Social Security, both to improve its solvency and also to enhance its benefits. We have a program that does that, a 2% across the board increase for everyone, lifts 5 million Americans out of poverty who've paid into a system all their lives and get below poverty level checks from the government because of Congress inaction. It repeals WEP and GPO for teachers and firefighters and municipal employers. It will provide a tax break for more than 23 million Americans. And it does so by simply lifting the cap on people over $400,000. And what does that do? It pays for all of these benefits and also extends solvency.
So once again, that is John Larson. His bill is the Social Security 2100 Act. Right now it is introduced in the House, and it would do a lot of things, but as far as the main benefits go, it would increase benefits for current and new beneficiaries. So there would be an increase of 2% for everyone across the board, and then it would also change the way the cost of living adjustments are calculated over to the CPIE, which would result in greater increases every single year. And then on top of that, it would also protect low-income workers. So right now, the lowest that you can receive is the special minimum benefit, and they would actually change that to being 25% above the federal poverty line, whereas right now, the special minimum benefit, if that's what you're receiving, you're actually receiving a benefit that's actually well below the federal poverty line, so a very low amount. Now, once again, if his bill were to pass, you would be receiving a benefit of 25% above the federal poverty line, which is still not a huge amount, but it would result in an increase of up to $500 for some people. So let's go ahead and go into the formula and how you would actually figure this increase at being. So once again, this year in 2024, the special minimum benefit is $1,066.50 per month. And this same year in 2024, the federal poverty level for a single individual is $1,255. So obviously, right now, the special minimum benefit is well below the federal poverty line. But if we were to increase the special minimum benefit to 25% above the federal poverty level, the federal poverty line, which once again is $1,255, that would increase the benefit up to $1,569, which once again would be an increase of $502 above what they're receiving right now, which is $1,066.50. And we have John Larson. He's right there. He's calling on a vote. He's saying we need to have a up or down vote. We may not be able to pass in the House, but let's go ahead and put our lawmakers on record. Do they want to see these increases? Or are they against this increase for whatever reason? Is it because we're raising taxes too much? He's calling for this bill to be on the floor for a vote. Will it ever happen? We'll just have to wait and see. Now, meanwhile, we actually have Tucker Carlson. He's been in Russia, and a lot of people were speculating, like, why is he in Russia? Is he going to actually sit down and interview Vladimir Putin? Well, he actually confirmed that, yes, he is going to be interviewing Putin. Let's go ahead and watch what he has to say.
We're in Moscow tonight. We're here to interview the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin. We'll be doing that soon. There are risks to conducting an interview like this, obviously. So we thought about it carefully over many months. Here's why we're doing it. First, because it's our job. We're in journalism. Our duty is to inform people. 2 years into a war that's reshaping the entire world, most Americans are not informed. They have no real idea what's happening in this region, here in Russia or 600 miles away in Ukraine. But they should know. They're paying for much of it in ways they might not fully yet perceive. The war in Ukraine is a human disaster. It's left hundreds of thousands of people dead, an entire generation of young Ukrainians, and it's depopulated the largest country in Europe. But the long-term effects are even more profound. This war has utterly reshaped the global military and trade alliances, and the sanctions that followed have as well. And in total, they have upended the world economy. The post-World War II economic order, the system that guaranteed prosperity in the West for more than 80 years, is coming apart very fast, and along with it, the dominance of the US dollar. These are not small changes. They are history-altering developments. They will define the lives of our grandchildren. Most of the world understands this perfectly well. They can see it. Ask anyone in Asia or the Middle East what the future looks like. And yet the populations of the English-speaking countries seem mostly unaware. They think that as nothing has really changed. And they think that because no one has told them the truth. Their media outlets are corrupt. They lie to their readers and viewers. And they do that mostly by omission. For example, since the day the war in Ukraine began, American media outlets have spoken to scores of people from Ukraine, and they have done scores of interviews with Ukrainian President Zelensky. We ourselves have put in a request for an interview with Zelensky, and we hope he accepts. But the interviews he's already done in the United States are not traditional interviews. They are fawning pep sessions specifically designed to amplify Zelensky's demand that the U.S. enter more deeply into a war in Eastern Europe and pay for it. That is not journalism. It is government propaganda. Propaganda of the ugliest kind, the kind that kills people. At the same time, our politicians and media outlets have been doing this, promoting a foreign leader like he's a new consumer brand. Not a single Western journalist has bothered to interview the president of the other country involved in this conflict, Vladimir Putin. Most Americans have no idea why Putin invaded Ukraine or what his goals are now. They've never heard his voice. That's wrong. Americans have a right to know all they can about a war they're implicated in, and we have the right to tell them about it because we are Americans too. Freedom of speech is our birthright. We were born with the right to say what we believe. That right cannot be taken away no matter who is in the White House. But they're trying anyway. Almost 3 years ago, the Biden administration illegally spied on our text messages and then leaked the contents to their servants in the news media. They did this in order to stop a Putin interview that we were planning. Last month, we're pretty certain they did exactly the same thing once again. But this time, we came to Moscow anyway. We are not here because we love Vladimir Putin. We are here because we love the United States, and we want it to remain prosperous and free. We paid for this trip ourselves. We took no money from any government or group, nor are we charging people to see the interview. It is not behind a paywall. Anyone can watch the entire thing, shot live to tape and unedited, on our website, tuckercarlson.com. Elon Musk, to his great credit, has promised not to suppress or block this interview once we post it on his platform, X, and we're grateful for that. Western governments, by contrast, will certainly do their best to censor this video on other less principled platforms because that's what they do. They are afraid of information they can't control. But you have no reason to be afraid of it. We are not encouraging you to agree with what Putin may say in this interview, but we are urging you to watch it. You should know as much as you can, and then, like a free citizen and not a slave, you can decide for yourself. Thanks.
Now, of course, now that we have Tucker Carlson confirming that he is going to be interviewing Putin, we already have the mainstream media kind of freaking out about it. So we just had this one article here, for example, by CNN that says Tucker Carlson is in Russia to interview Putin. He's already doing the bidding of the Kremlin. So Tucker Carlson's interview with Vladimir Putin hasn't been posted online yet, but he's already doing the Russian authoritarian bidding. In a video posted to X announcing the sit-down on Tuesday, the first interview Putin has granted with a Western media figure since his full-scale invasion of Ukraine 2 years ago. Carlson predictably and dishonestly villainized the press. The right-wing extremist who has lauded autocrats in recent years claimed English-speaking outlets are, quote, corrupt and lie to their audience as they disseminate propaganda of the ugliest kind, projection much. So obviously the mainstream media isn't going to be too happy. You're going to hear attacks from them to Carlson. Now, I think it's actually a good thing. I think we should be sitting down with people on all sides of life. Even these I guess if you could consider terrible presidents who do awful things, I think that we should be able to hear, I guess, their points of view and keep an open form of media, because certain countries, they might be villainized as these terrible presidents or terrible countries or what they're doing, but perhaps we should see their points of view. Because if we only see one point of view and we have one side who is considered the good guy and the other side is considered the bad guy, and that's what we're told, perhaps we're not getting the full story. And I think that's what the press should be there for. They should be there to get the full story and let the American people then decide for themselves who is the good and the bad guy in that situation. I'm not saying that necessarily that Russia or Putin is a good guy. Certainly, a lot of people in their country is suffering, but I think that people should be able to hear the full story and sit down with these different figures, whether it be Kim Jong-un or anyone else. I think we should be able to sit down with them, hear their points of view, hear what they have to say, and just have this open discussion, more open discussion, not just have like a one-side media bias. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Would love to read them. But that's all we have for today's video. I certainly hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.